Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Méchet for episode number 12. We've jumped straight in, May the 1st, we've moved forward. We're on contracts already because we've no work to do on our own farm apart from looking after the livestock. And we're going to move through this month pretty quick, I think. Anyway, welcome back. A couple of things have come up in the last episode or in between the episode. We have the snail production up and running. It's running fine. It's producing cooked snails, but we're having issues with keeping up with the butter supply to the cooked snail production. It keeps running out. So I'm trying to address these issues and see how we can just leave it running without any problems. So I've used the production control mod to up the output on the butter to 150% from 100%. Now we're running the two dairies on both farms. I'll look into the main dairy on the map, which is to buy, I think it's 200,000, but we can lease it. We're leasing the grain mill as it is. And we'll see what way we can get it that we actually don't have to worry about it running out all the time and stopping. But for now, it seems to be okay since I upped it that little bit. I have been running the two dairies at 100%, and it was still coming up. It would run for a while, then I get the warning that production had stopped and that. Same with the feed mix. Feed mix stopped, but what I done there was I got our small trailer and I bought, was it 4,000 litres of sorghum, and I put it in so we have two grains in it producing the feed mix. So let's see how that goes, because we only had the one grain, which was winter or spring wheat, and we weren't producing from two of them. There is, let's jump in here. Flour mill that's the one, yeah. We have sorghum in it and we have spring wheat. There is others we can put in as well. So we have spring barley is growing. We don't have spring wheat, but I presume when we put more in, we were able to up it. So that takes spring barley. Next one down takes oat. So once we get them in, I think we're going to be okay. I think that end of it will be okay. Now they're set to auto distribute. So it's distributing to all the snail houses. Now, the other thing I was considering was actually reducing the number of snail houses. And what I mean by that is to actually take a few of them off the map to actually sell them. I'm experimenting. Like literally on this save, we're experimenting to see how everything works, and I'm just trying to iron out the kinks, I suppose you can say, to get this up and running pretty good. So you can leave it to run itself while you're doing the farm work and looking after the livestock. Anyway, what's happening with the livestock is we are due new arrivals in the milk producing barn next month. So we're going to increase the herd there, but I'm also considering increasing the herd as well. Now, the milk production is not running out. It is able to keep up with the supply in the dairy. So even though I've upped the butter output to 150%, it's still able to keep up with the milk production. So the milk is being used fairly slow to produce the butter. It's not going through quicker than the cows can produce it. So by upping the cows, we're just going to have excess milk, and they kind of just want to use it in the productions rather than just sell it. But we'll iron these things out as it goes on. For now, I'm just going to work away on the few contracts that are there, and probably do maybe 10 contracts in this month, and then we're going to move on to June. We'll have canola to harvest. We have a few things to do in June, so we'll get into them in this episode. Yeah, we've the winter wheat and we've the canola to harvest. Our grass is going to be ready as well in that's the field we bought down near the river. This one here is only the small pasture where the Charolais cows are. So we might tackle that as well. Since we have this on, it's only just up the road from here, so we might just get that knocked down and make some bales out of it again. And yeah, other than that, progress is being made. The other thing is in the sales. I had a brief look at this before we quit out after the last. Yeah, this baler came up and it wraps and it does 150 centimetre bales. The 1-2. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at that too. I'll get this field done. We'll have a look at that because we might just sell our baler. We haven't got a wrapper ourselves. We're leasing the one that we use to do the contracts, which in a way is better because it allows us to do contracts. But a baler with a wrapper will cut down one extra trip around the field, and so will a set of mowers with swat dropping capability. So there's a couple of things we need to look for in regards to the equipment. But for now, I'll work away on these few contracts, get them out of the way, and start making a bit of progress. And then, yeah, we're going to have a busy enough month when we move forward into June. Not an awful lot to do this month, but we have things to take care of. Looking after the livestock, which I'm kind of happy. That's what I wanted to make it about anyway, for the moment, before we expand into anything else. Just loading the cow barn up with some silage, just to keep it topped off. We didn't really fill it anyway from the word go. We only put a couple of bales in, so could really do with having this shed empty of machinery. Well, machinery that sticks out rather than. I'm being very wishful here, carrying 4 bales together. See what I mean? Should really grab the squeeze, because I think with the squeeze, I've used it before. You can pick 2 bales up at a time. See, that was a waste of time now, trying to carry the ones on top. I knew before I even picked them up I was only going to take 2. Trying to show off, it didn't work. Oh, I stuck up against the wall of the shed. Yeah, I'm just going to top these off and we're going to buy that baler. We'll get rid of the other baler, and we still have the wrapper for doing contracts. Now, going forward, we're not going to be doing as many contracts, so it's leased. So what I'll probably do with it is hang on to it until... Yeah, I was going to go in and get the other bale on this as well, but no, it's just quick to go up and get rid of this, and then we'll go back. I'll be watching with this that I don't end up putting them in the other fattening barn. Yeah. Just throw these 3 bales in. And then we'll deal with it. Too close to the ramp. And who left that tractor there? Really want to think about my driving style. A driving style is if you can drive over it, why not? Anyway, it's like everything. If I drive without watching me, I can drive perfect. But because I'm talking at the same time as driving, I'm absolutely crap at it. Yeah, we should be able to get this one as well. There we go. We're stuck on the wall. Okay. Gonna hit the seeder again. Spatial awareness. You become aware of what's behind you. I know the Fiat is beside me now as well, so there you go. I should really unwrap these, shouldn't I, before I put them in? I was doing it, I swear. Right, get off my fork. There you go. Let's see what they have anyway. I think they're probably okay now. They have 63,000, yeah. That'll do them for now. Okay, we're going to sell this baler and buy the other one. Well, we can buy the other one first because we have the money there anyway. Okay, let me have a look. Contracts. That's the field beside us, 14. We'll take that on. Would you believe it? The spreader's actually sitting there, right beside it. It's full of, it's not completely full, but there's enough, more than enough in it. Yeah, that's 4 contracts done for this day when that's done. So happy enough with that. This spreader's just sitting there. It's actually nearly pointing into the field. Okay, gonna get this swapped out and do that contract and move on to the next day. I'll bring you back in then. Alright, we're just gonna repair and repaint this before we sell it. The repairs are okay. Oh, I must have only done it. Yeah, I did when I finished the last time. Repaint. Sell. Oh, I never checked the price on it. That's actually better. We're going to make money out of this. Just any swat dropping mower. Oh, look. Of course, I have the forks on the tractor. You can't change the colour, so you can now. Baler. There we go. What's the design? Oh, bale end turner. Perfect. We need that with our what you call it, fields. We have wrap. It's full of black rain wrap. Net, bale net, we have bale net. Okay. Happy days. Now by the time we repair this, it'll probably be it'll probably eat up that little bit of money we made. We didn't make a lot. Probably 2,000, but that was a nice little find. I repair it back up at our own shop. I'm in the tractor now. That was a nice little find that this came up because it's ideal for, we can do 150 centimetre bales now, which will give us bigger bales because the bales we have are really, really small. I'm going to go up this way just for a change. Yeah, the bales we have are really, really small. I think they're only 3,500 litres, not 350,000. They're 3,500. The silage bales, I think, they're not that big. Anyway, I'll get this back and better load up the net into it, the wrap net, and yeah, I'll get started on that contract. Just doing this final contract for today, and then we're going to move on. I went back and bought a bale squeeze to go on the loader. I think it was either 15 or 1700 first. Which one was it? Hold on. Show you now. That one there, 1500. So you are able to grab 2 bales together with it. I have used it before. Now it's not completely stable, but it's okay. It'll do the job. Contract wise, we're going to be done now when we do this. Let's see if this pole got a collision. Some of them don't and some of them do. Did I do a contract in this field before? Am I going to go? We haven't got a collision. I was waiting for it to bump off it. But there is some of them do, because I've been in fields where I thought it didn't have a collision and it actually did. Anyway, that's our 4 contracts for the day. Done. The 3 mowing and this one when it's done. Okay. It doesn't use it. We're set on low application on the fertiliser anyway. So it's not on automatic, it's on manual on the lowest possible. Let's collect the other contracts. See what we're up to. 89. So it'll be just over 90 when we move forward. Yeah, I try to set goals to have achievements to do, and I think my main achievement I want to do for this year is to have the milk producing barn full of milk producing cattle. So that's 200 in it. We have currently got we got 20, 24, 12, 2 and 3. We've I'm not going to add that up in my head. I'm just going to go around the field. I'm not going to follow those other lines. Maybe I will. Just because that one was so short. Yeah, I don't really mind because the crop sensor's on, so it will be stopping. It's not throwing out, and you can see there's nothing going down now. It's gone down again. Yeah, to fill that with whether it be calves and elders that are producing milk, or with with either or both. Thinking of moving the Vosges, or whatever the proper pronunciation is for them. They produce milk as well. I was thinking of moving them over. We have, is it 12 of them in the calf barn? I was thinking of moving them over just so that otherwise what I'm going to end up doing, and it is something I am thinking about, is putting down another barn to produce milk. I want to do it neatly, if you know what I mean. Now, I could put down the buildable pasture and put a tank on it, but then they've no indoor space, and I prefer them to have some indoor space. So for that reason, I don't want to go down that route. I'd prefer to do it the other way, to actually have a barn. Now, I have a barn in mind, but it might be a little bit more modern than anything else in the map, but then you can just class it as an expansion of the farm. Right, we're going to collect that now. So we're up to 93, 152, that's not bad. Haven't sold any of the cheese or the snails yet. Not really in a rush to do it. I'll do it at the end of next month, along with whatever else we're going to produce between now and then. Okay, now, just while I have you here, let's just jump into construction, cows. Have I got it loaded? I mightn't have it loaded in this save. I don't have it loaded. These produce milk as well. That one doesn't, is it? This one does. No, they don't. They're beef. Yeah, that one done the whole crazy amount. Another one of them holds 300. Yeah, I haven't got the one loaded on this save that I used. Not going with any of them. It doesn't look overly modern. It still is modern, but it doesn't look overly modern. We could possibly fit in. What I was thinking is we might lose part of this field. Up here is fairly flat and it keeps it beside the yard. I don't want it to be a separate entity. I had thought about maybe removing the calf barn, but I don't want to disturb the layout of the farm itself. I want to keep it as intact as I can. So, yeah, I don't mind losing a little bit of this field because it is fairly flat up here. And it keeps it beside the barn, the farm, as I said, instead of being a separate entity miles away altogether. Anyway, why did I think this was ready next month? It's saying 7 of 9, so obviously it's not. Okay, getting ahead of myself. Right, I'm going to move on and have a look at what contracts are there, and then I'll give you an update when we get stuck into another little bit of work. Back doing contracts again. I've done this field before. It's the big cow pasture, or say cattle pasture. It's not really a cow pasture from the form of you don't get milk on it. I had a look to see could I take out the pasture here. I couldn't actually find out how to put in have a test map, and I bought the field just to see could I take it out and redo it differently so you could put in a milk producing pasture. Now I must go and have a look again. I don't know whether I tried it since the update to the map. Being honest with you, I can't remember, but I have kind of picked out a barn I'm going to place eventually, but it's 325,000, so that's quite a way off just to get the milk production up. Might not go with it, but it is provisionally in the back of my mind as an option. We'll have a look at that when we run out of butter again. Look, it just can't keep up. Just cannot keep up. It's on 150% and it can't keep up. The milk is grand, but it just keeps running out of butter. It'll come up again in a little bit. It's restarted. That's with the 2 farm dairies going. It just can't produce enough butter for the snails. Anyway, yeah, the cows. We're going to look anyway at upping the milk, because what I'm thinking doing going forward, moving into year 2 in this map, I need a challenge. I need something different. So I think it's setting out goals of a certain amount of produce that needs to be produced and sold in December, and you get a bonus if you meet that target, but if you don't meet the target you get hit with a penalty. So it goes against what I would normally do with regards, can't leave that a little bit sticking out there. What I'd normally do is sell the product off straight away. It means having to store it and then sell it in December or whatever. But just to give me a little bit of a challenge, because I usually do most playthroughs with a challenge on them. And this one I came in to have a look at the map and have a look at all the productions on it and all, which I still will do. But I'd still like to have that challenge in the background now. Hands up, I did actually think of restarting and not taking the main farm and doing something different, but I don't see much point in doing that either. There's quite a bit of work gone into it, and I've already said that once the firewood production runs out, I'm going to get rid of that. And I could actually sell that forestry plot now, because we're still paying back the loan we took to actually buy that. I could sell the forestry plot now, and I think it's 96,000 or something like that, to add to the coffers, and that could go a long way towards possibility of buying another production field that we need for doing food production or whatever. It's kind of sitting there doing nothing with it, and I'm not going to use it. So maybe that, look, let's, instead of talking about it, let's have a look. 95, yeah, 95 and a half. Tell you what, let's do that. Okay. Because I'm not going to do the firewood production once it runs out. so there's no point in keeping it. I done it, I tried it, we see how it works. Works quite good. It brings in not a crazy amount of money a month, which is perfect, because you don't want, I like with doing forestry and stuff like that, where you're bringing in thousands every month, tens of thousands every month, it kind of, the game runs away. I know some people enjoy doing that, but I find the game runs away from you. Now I need to turn the lines off, because the lines drive me mad on this field. I need to just do it by sight. Yeah, they just, I could run away doing forestry work. I could make a fortune and buy everything I wanted that, but I don't want that. I want a little bit of a challenge there, which is why I'm trying to work out what rate the sheep are producing at. Do I need another sheep pen? And then maybe say I have to produce 20, 25 pallets of wool a year from the pastures we have, not putting in a barn that you can put 500 sheep into, and that just from the pastures we have, to do it that way. Maybe make up an idea, and again an idea how much goat cheese can be produced. The cheese, maybe work out that you have to produce that, because they are running through the milk quicker than I can produce it in the dairy, so that means I have to up the goats. So that brings another element into it, where I have to produce the feed for them and that. And there is 2 or 3 more pastures around the map that can be used for sheep and goats that I haven't got yet. There's another few for the cows as well, including this one, which would be for beef cattle. So you kind of have all those ideas. Then there's other ways they can run it, that you can have a disaster and you can run like we do on the triple threat challenge. You spin the dice and you have a disaster where maybe you have to sell so many of your cattle because they got a disease or something like that, or there's all sorts of options, just to add a little bit more to the series. I just don't want it ballooning out of hand with major income coming from any one source. I want it to be something I have to work at, and to be honest with you, at the moment I have to work at it with regards to the snails, to keep that production going, because the dairy farm needs to be built up to produce more milk, and then need to decide what way I'm going to deal with that milk to produce more butter. So there's a little bit of a challenge there. Won't be using any majorly overpowered dairy productions or anything like that. I will definitely look at the dairy on the map. If it is a way of doing it, well, so be it. It'll mean transporting the milk down to the dairy before we can produce the butter and things like that. It adds a different element into it. So that's kind of where I'm coming from anyway. But just want to give you a heads up. The other thing too, I don't know what way I looked at that field app I have, because my grain crops and that are not ready next month. They're not ready for 2 months. Plus the grass field, which I thought was ready, is only partially ready. It does have tufts of grass which are ready, but then there's other stuff which is still only showing stage 3. I wish the cows would move out of the way. But moving forward, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce a few other bits of elements of gameplay into it to keep it challenging, shall we say. So for now, I'm just going to work on getting this field done, getting a few more contracts done, and we're not going to be moving into the harvest month in this episode, which, sorry, bang the mic stand again, kind of suits me, because I don't want to rush through things in a mad rush trying to get through it. I want to iron out the issues we have first with the production we're running, and then fine-tune the animals, I suppose, fine-tune the feed, and yeah, we're making progress. We're making progress as we go along. I'm still mowing. Last of 4 contracts. Just decided to get them done, the mowing contracts, and get them out of the way. There's not an awful lot else there this month. Yeah, having to think about what the next move is going to be. What I'm actually going to do now when I finish this is I'm going to hook up the animal trailer. I'm going to get at least a whole 6 cows 6 fully grown cows per trailer trip. So I'm going to do 5 trips, which will be 30 cows, and get 30 more milk producing cows into the milk pasture pen. Let's say the milk parlour pen. I know this is finished, but I'm just going to run and do this last run. Even though when I accept the contract, it'll disappear anyway. Okay, now there we go. And lift the front one, turn it off. Now, contracts. Let's go over here. What's that? There's one there for 3,000. I bet you it's another mowing contract. It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't actually take the highest one because I wasn't interested in driving over the other side of the field. So the biggest one was field 19. That's 11. Now, off camera, I did go on to I loaded up another test map. I won't call it a test map. It was just a map for looking about. When we got started this at the start, I jumped in, dived in without looking at anything on the map. Now, I did then load up a map just so I could find the rest of the animal pastures more than anything else. And I did. Now, I've gone around and checked them all to see what's there. And yeah, you can remove them. Some of them, you need to click on the water trough to remove them. Others, it's on the feed trough. So that's why I wasn't getting a trigger on some of them, but they can all be removed. Now, whether that has changed in the update, I don't know, because I know I couldn't remove them when I tried them before the update, so maybe it was always there and I was just clicking on the wrong part, if you know what I mean. I was clicking on the feed instead of the water trough, and vice versa, because it was different across them. But at least we know we can make changes to them if we want. So I know we sold off the forestry plot, so we have a bit of extra money in the bank, and we have a bit of money in the bank now, so we have scope to do a lot of things if we want with that money. Basically, I want to increase the milk. Now, the other thing I didn't realise, I just wasn't thinking about, when I increase the goat milk, I can actually make the butter from that as well. So I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, I'll keep using the feed. I was going to switch over to the John there, but I might as well keep using the feed. Just go down and get these cows and start to stock up. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get these stocked up. I might actually... Now, I've gone around all the pens to have a look and see how many go into them. Like, we have this one here, and that holds, what is it? I can't remember now. Holds 120. Now, that's goats, or that's sheep, so we'll have to collect the wool from them and bring it to whatever we're going to do with it. We do also have a cattle pasture on 112. We have a sheep pasture on 113. 113 holds 73. 112 holds 182. Cattle fairly big. There's another one, 127. That holds, I've done to check them all out, that holds 129. The big one on 19 holds 472 cattle. And 49, which I think is the sheep one up here. That sheep one there holds 177. And the sheep barn we have is 142. And then number 25 is the one we have as well, is it? Yeah, 25 is the one we have. Just kind of checking around to see what we have. So there is other options there anyway. Ideally, like that field would be nice to buy. It's 247. We're not that far away from it. But it won't produce milk. So from that point of view, there's no point, and I'm going to go all the way around the house to get back to my bit. There's no point in buying that now anyway. Down the road we will. Cattle barns, to what I was thinking, if I want to put one down there to farm at a later date, I'm going to do it on probably field number 58, which is going to cost 64,000. Probably take that into the fold for the farm. This one here, when I looked at it, it's not actually that level. It looks it when you're driving past, but when you go to place down a barn, it isn't that level. It's all over the place. I just had a quick look at it even on this map, not on the other map, but I was kind of looking around to see where the levelest the field we could get was. So I want to keep it close by the main farm. Now the one I used before, if I place it down, it holds 400 and it produces milk and everything else, but the pasture itself, or the pen itself, is 380 quid. But maybe we'll be sufficient enough for what we have when we get the cows up and running. And if the goat milk is going to make the butter as well, well then we can go that route as well. So we can just soldier on and get another sheep pasture and put more goats into it. That may be the next option. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get down here, I'm going to get, I'll keep you until I get the first trailer load, and I'll have to make another 4 trips after that and get them up and into the enclosure at the dairy, the parlour, milk and parlour. And yeah, I didn't even look to see how much it's going to cost me, but we'll burn through some of this money. Still have a day left to go in the month, so can still do another 4 contracts. We've cut them back from we were doing 5. Mightn't even bother, might just move on to the next month because there's going to be contracts again in that month, or just maximise what I can out of it and get the herds up to the largest I can with the money I have without going broke, you know what I mean? Now, I always clip that wall, that's why I slowed down that corner. I always clip that wall going that way, and I clip this wall here coming the other way. So I'm kind of getting used to the map now. I'm watching where I need to watch going around the corners so I don't run into things. And where did I turn the traffic off? I just noticed I didn't see any cars on the way down. Maybe it's just circumstances. I'm not really driving. There's only one road I'm driving on where there's traffic. I'm trying to remember. I think I actually did turn it off because there was a traffic jam up at the dealership, and I meant to turn it back on again straight away, and I didn't. So we're going with the Montbéliarde, whatever they're called. And we're going to go with 6, which is the max. Okay, so that's 6.8. So if we're going to make 5 runs, that's going to be, say, probably about 35,000, thereabouts. Just under 34. So yeah, that's well doable. We could do that twice if we wanted. We could really top it off, but we're not looking to. We're just looking to increase the milk production ever so slightly. We'll hang on to the money, and we'll have a look at what else we might buy another field. I'm on 35 kilometres an hour in the cruise control. It only does 42. I should obviously throttle it back a little bit. Let's turn that traffic back on if it's off. No, it is on. I don't know what made me think. I must be thinking of another map where I turned the traffic off. It is on. Oh, I turned the traffic off on the Hamlet because it was updated in the update, and it is a pain, to be honest with you. There's just 6-7 cars constantly going around the same road the whole time. And the map is so small. I was used to not meeting traffic on it now, and it was just annoying me, so I turned it off. Anyway, I'll get these done. I have to make another 4 trips, and I will update you then what we're going to do. I have my eye on a field that I think has spring barley in it, which would be helpful for our meal for the pig food, or not the pig food, the snail food. It'd be helpful for that, so we might actually pull the trigger and buy that. We have the money. Animal transport almost done. I realised after the second run I had the international Jeep sitting doing nothing, so I said that's much quicker on the road than the tractor, and it pulls this trailer okay, so why am I using a tractor? So I went up and got my Jeep. Anyway, here we are. This is the last load. This triggers a little bit. I don't really... Trigger makes me think it's not the trigger. It makes me think it's my controller, but I know it's not. Now, what have we got in here? So we've 91 out of a possible 214. And if we go into the pens, we can see what's in here, the milking parlour. So Semmeltals, we've 12 at 6 months, 2 at 14, 24. Hold on, where are we? 18. What's gone wrong there? I have made... I must have... Oh, no. We've 2 lots of 18 months old. I was wondering, why is it doing that? Instead of putting... Oh, maybe just because I put them in that little bit earlier. That's what I was saying. This should have been... this should have been 30. And that's going on. Why is it? That is weird. That is really weird to have done that. That they went in, there was an hour or 2 between them, but yet there's a difference in price already because they're in. Like, it's taken me a bit of time to do that, to get them delivered and on site. Well, that's a new one for me. And let's close this door, and we're done with them for the time being. Yeah. It gives me time to think when I'm doing stuff like that. So decision has been made about what the next move is, because I don't believe in leaving money in the bank when we need to expand. Now, I was considering buying this wheat, spring wheat. We could put that into the food production, but then I kind of started looking, would we be just as well to have a field up near the actual production point? So I had a look at this field. Let's go. There's nothing in it, which is the way I like to take it rather than taking a field with a crop in it. So having said that now, we are going to buy that and we're going to put sorghum into that field. Now, I'm not done yet. This pasture here, we're going to try buy this by the end of the episode and put goats into it. Now, it's either this one or go with one of the ones down here. I think the only other one we have is this one. It's the only other sheep one we don't actually have. Let me see. Sheep barn we have. Sheep 49 we have. No, 49 is that one I was looking at. I'm going to try and target that one if at all possible in this episode. Maybe not. We still have 1 day's contracts to go the next day. But what we're going to do for now is we're going to get this field sorted out. And then we'll see what we have money-wise left by the time we're done all of these things with regards to getting our possibility of putting goats in there as well. So we're producing more goat's milk. I'm going to drive forward with the money we have. Like, that money we just spent is what came back from selling the forestry plot. So I'm going to bring this up now and I'm going to get this field soil sampled, and then we're going to have to sow sorghum in it. You know what? Let's swap tractors and let's bring the planter up for the sorghum. So if we do get an okay result from the soil sampling, we're going to have the lime anyway. So I can do that with the other tractor. I can bring the lime spreader up on the field and get the lime into that field. But we'll use this to bring up the soil sampler and the planter for the sorghum. And at least then we can get going on that if we don't need to cultivate or plough or do anything else. It should have told us anyway if we needed ploughing straight away. And I probably left myself tight for space now, leaving the international park there. Now we're okay. I think I have this full because we could do with some solid fertiliser. Okay, I'm going to get this filled up and I might as well top off the seed in it. It won't take much more. And get this up to the field and I'll bring it back in then. And get the soil sampling done, see what state the field is in, if there's anything else we need to do. And I'm parking tractors in the way, of course. I know it'll spawn here, the actual seed. So what did I say we need? We need fertiliser and we need seed. We'll go with that one. Any smaller fertiliser, that one. There we go. They should spawn beside it, so we should be okay to fill this up now. You have to let it close, then back up, and now it'll fill the seeds. No, it won't do it. It's just been a pain. Drop it off, pick it up. Oh, sometimes this game is sent to try us. Look, there's enough seed in it. Sure there is. Oh, that's full. I wasn't even looking at it. I was looking at the wrong one. Anyway, let me get up to the field and I'll bring it back in then when we have the sampling done. Got the sampling done and got the lime down, so we're good to go. We're getting the sorghum in now. This should be fairly straightforward. We need to roll it down. I was just about to send the roller back, thinking we're done with it, at least. And lucky enough I didn't. This kind of wasn't on my radar because of money, and then we're not going to do anything more with the firewood after it's all gone. We're going to just we'll probably just hang on to the building anyway. Won't bother selling it. And we're going to just keep it for now, and we'll probably start it again later on down the road. But for now, we're just going to work away, getting our snail farm 100% efficient and our livestock built up, and then we'll make a plan for what we're going to do with the livestock, as I said, down the road. Apart from, of course, having plenty of livestock and making money out of them, which is the obvious goal. But what I was saying earlier on about maybe having some sort of a contract that I have to produce X amount of goods and deliver them in December each year, and I get a bonus if I do, and I don't if I don't. I actually still sell the stuff but get penalised. I'll have a look at that anyway and decide what I'm going to do. So for what I thought was going to be a fairly humdrum episode, it turned out to be pretty good, in that we've got another field. We've got sorghum going in, which is going to supply more for our mill to produce snail food mix. And then we have another 30 milk producing cows gone into the milking parlour, and I have a clearer picture of what goes into the other pens. And I just went and had a look, because you've no way of knowing until you actually buy them, so I had to just do my research off camera. So for now, we're just going to work on getting this field up and running. We'll work through the contracts for the next day in the month, probably do another 4 again, bump that money up a little bit. Won't buy that goat pasture if we have the money. We do have the money if we were to sell the products. We'll save that until we bring you back in June in the next episode. So with that, that's me saying that we're done for episode number 12 from Méchet. Kind of got my head around where we want to bring this series now, whereas I was having second thoughts about continuing on the way it was, or should I restart, give myself a challenge. But I think I'm working out a decent challenge now, where I'm going to work out some figures between the 2 episodes and see, can we say, like, okay, I have to produce X amount by the end of the year, or have so many sheep or so many goats. What I'll do anyway when I'm filling the goat pen is I won't put any more than half in it. The same with the cows as well. I won't put any more than half of what it actually holds. I'll let it reproduce the same as I've done with the goats and so on. Not just going to fill them up with 100. If it holds 170, fill them up with 170 and bang, straight away you're off full production. No, we'll put them in, we'll let them have their offspring, and we'll do it that way. We'll let it grow itself. We'll let it grow by itself rather than forcing it. So, episode number 12 done and dusted. If you're still here, thanks a million for staying through all my ramblings through the episode, but you can see where I'm going, just trying to get a clearer picture where to bring this series. I do have a couple of more things that I might introduce once we hit January. We head to year 2, and I'll run through them then if we're going to introduce them on this series. At the moment, I'm feeling I probably will. I'm not going to reveal exactly what they are just yet, but yeah, we're going to make this interesting rather than it just being straightforward. I don't like straightforward. But for now, all that's left for me to do is to say goodbye for now until the next time, and please come back and join me on episode number 13, and hopefully it'll be a lucky episode number 13. And with that, all that's left for me to do is to say goodbye for now. Bye bye.